We humans have this special trait of getting ourselves into sticky yet undeniably ironic situations. For example, at no point in history has food been this abundant, accessible, and affordable, yet the majority of us intelligent apes are walking around with a nutrient deficiency. Or to be more specific, a lacking of adequate vitamins and minerals that allow our biological machinery to operate efficiently, and thus allow us to feel how we're capable of feeling, which is like putting $10 of gas in your car at a time when you gotta drive cross country. Straight silly. But it turns out our solution to this problem, little vitamin and mineral packed pills lining the shelves of our favorite stores, may not be the best answer either. Let's take a look. Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another week of How to Health. My name is Kevin. I run liftandbalance.com, where we take aim at all things health and longevity and do it in an odd, weird, interesting, and highly sarcastic way. Today we are exploring the world of multivitamins. Everything from why we may need them to do they actually work as it pertains to improving our biological function and preventing disease. In other words, boost our longevity. A task which you'll find out comes with a lot of wells, ifs, and buts in true science fashion. But by the end of this powwow, we'll walk through what the best strategy likely is and how to deploy it in your everyday life. Spoiler alert, probably not the same for everyone. However, this micronutrient endeavor is quite important because these non-calorie natural additives are essential elements required by all organisms in varying quantities in order to orchestrate physiological function and to maintain health. And when they are consistently lacking, the stage becomes set for first dysfunction and ultimately disease. Yeah. Vitamins and minerals are responsible for catalyzing the biological processes which allow your cellular and metabolic self to operate in a way which sustains this thing called life. And guess what? For millions of years of primate history and a few 100,000 years of human evolution, we found a way to sustain adequate levels and survive. Yet, present day, the sad irony is, in this most abundant and technologically advanced time in Earth's history, the majority of us humans walk around with one, two, or likely a few deficiencies, making a skeptic wonder if it may just have something to do with the energy-dense, nutrient-scarce, ultra-processed way of eating that we've become so keen on over the last 75 years or so, creating a phenomena of hidden hunger in silence throughout the world's population. Or a form of undernutrition that occurs when the intake or absorption of vitamins and minerals is too low to sustain good health and development, despite eating and overeating plenty of carbs and fat. In fact, a 2007 to 2010 U.S. national survey, which questioned over 16,000 individuals about their dietary habits, reported a high level of inadequacies for multiple micronutrients, highlighting that 94% of the population did not meet their daily requirements for vitamin D, 92% for choline, 88% for vitamin E, 67% for vitamin K, 52% for magnesium, 44% for calcium, 43% for vitamin A, 39% for vitamin C, and this list goes on and on. So being the innovators and trendsetters that we are, and way before this study actually took place, we devised a solution. A small, bite-sized pill with all the micronutrients that we need on a daily basis, times 1,000. Bam! Problem solved. Or is it? Well, it depends on who you ask and the desired outcome that they're seeking. As there have been several studies to date which have pointed out that for reasons still being explored, supplements do not seem to make nearly as big of an impact to health outcomes when compared to real whole nutrient-dense foods. For example, one large epidemiological study which looked into vitamins and minerals' impact on all-cause mortality found that everyday use of dietary supplements including a multivitamin was not associated with improved mortality outcomes, and that adequate intake of vitamin A, K, magnesium, zinc, and copper was only associated with reduced all-cause or cardiovascular disease mortality when they were acquired from foods. You don't say. Now, keep in mind that this was an observational study rather than a randomized controlled trial, so it's got that caveat. But it's still nonetheless interesting. Another study which looked into the impact of multivitamins on cardiovascular health found that after 24 weeks of daily supplementation, there was no change in arterial stiffness or endothelial function throughout the non-obese participants, while also not altering body fat, blood pressure, plasma lipids, glucose, insulin, IGF-1, and markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. Wow, I guess the case is closed then, right? Not so fast. All that being said, there are examples of multivitamins and supplements having positive effects too. One recent 2023 study which investigated the effects of a daily multivitamin supplement versus a placebo on cognitive function in older adults found that the multivitamin led to a statistically significant improvement in episodic memory, or the ability to learn and recall new information, and a modest improvement in global cognitive function, or overall mental abilities. Pretty interesting. And we must not forget this study that we did a full review on, highlighting how a combo of lifestyle interventions and supplementation can be used to improve health outcomes, such as cancer occurrence, finding that a cocktail of vitamin D, omega-3s, and frequent exercise packed a significant cancer prevention punch. And these are just two examples of many where a strategic supplement protocol can improve a biological situation. And at this point, I know what you're thinking. So, which side is right? To which I'd give you the unsatisfying answer of likely both. And here's why. We know that vitamins and minerals are present in both real food and supplements. However, that does not necessarily mean they are providing equal benefits, because they're likely not. And it probably comes down to synergy and bioavailability. Real food contains vitamins, minerals, and other beneficial compounds in their natural forms, adding a complex matrix of fiber, antioxidants, and other bioactive substances, all while being the OG delivery mechanism for these nutrients for millions of years. And thus, having this history creates this synergistic effect, where the different components work together to enhance absorption and utilization of individual micronutrients. This was a long way to say that eating real food and getting your micronutrients from that food is nature's original way. Conversely, multivitamins often present isolated forms of nutrients, which may not be as readily absorbed and utilized by the body. This is something that is continuously being researched, and we still have a lot to learn about. However, it very well could be the reason for the benefit gap. Moving on, how you take your multivitamin matters too. For example, a number of essential vitamins are fat soluble, including D, E, and K, meaning they are stored with fat and they are absorbed much better when they are consumed with fat. So just popping a multivitamin every morning on an empty stomach is probably not going to move the needle with those specific nutrients. And there's also evidence that overdoing it on a specific vitamin or mineral can actually have a negative effect. So it's always best to take a strategic approach, understanding first what you may be deficient in. Say you find that you are chronically deficient in a specific nutrient like vitamin D, and you recently realized how very important vitamin D is because you watch watch this video here. So you begin to strategically consume a high quality vitamin D supplement with a fat source. That will likely be a net positive for your biological business. Much more beneficial than just blindly popping a multivitamin on an empty stomach. Because just like everything else in this health-seeking world, it's all about context. And what an individual ultimately needs to supplement comes down to their unique lifestyle and biological variables. We're all same, but different. Thus, what we need for extra vitamin and mineral support will vary. That being said, I think there's a clear pecking order when it comes to finding your ideal nutrient balance. And the most impactful strategy is prioritizing real whole foods for your daily nutrient fix. Working in a few servings of fruits, veggies, eggs, beans, and high quality meats each and every day will continue to be the best multivitamin on the market. And I get it. That might not be an option for everybody every day. So a good alternative or supplement would be to add support with a high quality multivitamin brand that follows good manufacturing practices. I personally have used Thorne products as my go-to in the past, but I am heavily reliant on the real food approach. If possible, I would also recommend adding a micronutrient analysis to your blood work so you can better baseline your status and identify your needs. From here, you'll be able to craft your strategy more precisely around your needs and around your goals. But you also need not forget, although the food we eat is super important, it's not the full equation. Without regular high-quality circadian aligned sleep, daily movement, and adequate outdoor time, your biology is going to be playing at a disadvantage on the reg, leaving you in a place that so many people find themselves in right here, right now. Walking around as a tired, lethargic, sore, achy, sad, moody, less intelligent version of themselves. So take back the reins. Bring health decision-making back in-house. And start cooking. Plus, it'll only strengthen your dating profile. Just saying.